Hello.
Hola.
And bonjour, everyone.
It's Matthew.
And Doug from Crow Bros Bodybuilding.
MB3.
And today, we're on our way home from the gym. We had a shoulder workout, and we hit calves as an accessory muscle. But anyway, you see the title, what we're talking about is normally during our shoulder workouts, we basically stand by a dumbbell rack and use like mainly free weights. I mean, besides that, maybe like a barbell, you know, overhead press and stuff like that. But usually it's like a dumbbell press or barbell press, and then like side laterals or rear delt laterals and front raises and stuff like that.
All free weights.
Yeah, all free weights. So today
we decided to switch it up a little. It wasn't even, we didn't plan to do it. It just kind of happened. We almost use machines for all of our exercises. Like, what did we start out with?
Well, we started out, of course, with dumbbell press, because actually we haven't done just dumbbell shoulder press for a long time. Usually we've been doing overhead press. Anyway, we started out with that, and then we moved to rear delts.
Oh, almost hit a bird.
Then we moved to rear delts, and we did a rear delt machine. It's like a pec deck. You can move the arms in and then do rear delts. I don't know if you guys have that at your gym, but it's pretty common. Anyway, and then after that, we moved to an isolated side delt, like lateral. What was that called? Your side delt?
Oh, just side laterals, I guess.
Yeah, side lateral raises, but it was
for your side delts.
Yeah.
It was a machine though where you'd sit against the bench and like it's kind of like if you see my other shoulder workout, you can see it right here. I explained in that workout that some people like to do their side laterals at a 90-degree angle. I can see my arm. And I was explaining that it doesn't really target the muscle as much, and I just don't really feel it as much, so I like to do with my arms fully extended. But this machine allowed us to do it with a 90-degree angle, and because you're using heavier weight, it did work, but we ended up only doing 3 sets of that, and then finishing our 5 sets of dumbbell laterals with finishing the last 2 sets with side dumbbell with our arms fully extended.
Because it was really good because it was really isolated on your side delt, but it wasn't, you couldn't get a full range of motion just because it was a machine, which I would say machines are really good for targeting a certain area, but it does limit you because of the fact that you don't build up your stabilizer muscles and everything to support the weight that when you use free weights.
And like you said, basically every machine you can possibly think of limits your range of motion. And even when like he was saying, it limits, or it doesn't, you don't use your stabilizing muscles, which are incredibly important. Let's say you have use a Smith machine to bench press your whole life, or a machine bench, chest press, and then you go to even a barbell, but especially like if you go to dumbbell press, your arms are gonna be like shaking. I don't know if you've ever seen someone who's never benched before try to bench, but I've seen a couple of people, and even with a barbell, they are shaking like this. It's funny because they have no stabilizing muscles that you would build up with those using free weights and dumbbells and things like that. Whereas like on this shoulder press machine we did, it's no stabilizing muscles being used, which is okay for maybe trying to burn your muscles out because your stabilizer is gonna run out. I don't know, it's just
exactly when your muscles exhausted, it's really beneficial to use because you can actually, I don't know, it's safer also. And another thing is I don't know what I'm talking about. Machines are really good for, let's say you're getting older or something like that, and you want to be safer and you don't want to, let's say, injure your shoulder or tear something, then they're really beneficial because they're a lot safer because the range of motion is limited. Let's say you can't get it, you can just drop it down and it'll catch it. As to where free weights, you could get hurt. But if you're into bodybuilding and not just so much fitness and trying to stay in shape, then I'd definitely say free weights are more beneficial and higher up, more superior to it, I guess. But throwing in machines, I'd say, is definitely a good idea in any routine, like once in a while.
Yep, and along with that safety point you made, Doug, let's say you have a bad shoulder or something, and you can't, maybe on shoulder press, you can't stretch your shoulder all the way down to where the barbell would be at maybe your chest or even at your chin. The only way it's comfortable is only to bring down the weight to maybe your eyes, let's say. Well, a machine, you can set it to where you can only bring it to that and it'll stop, so you won't accidentally maybe even like overextend a shoulder or tear a muscle.
Exactly, so it's definitely safer and it targets the muscle better, but for overall development and if you want to get big, fast, machines usually aren't optimal for that. Anyway, we're ranting again, but I hope you liked the video.
Speaking of that, you can go ahead and like the video.
You can throw down a comment.
And you can even subscribe.
But remember guys, there's always more on the way, so
stay tuned.